Hi everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoy our shows, please like our videos and subscribe to our channel. And remember to hit the bell for notifications. And you can support us via PayPal, Patreon, Bitcoin, and through our website, ageoftruthtv.
Hi everyone, this is Lucas Alexander for Age of Truth TV. Well, this is just a little informal update, just a message for all of you guys. I just wanted to say hi to all of you. And the interesting thing is that we're already in the middle of May 2020. This is incredible. I think the time's running so fast, and you wouldn't think that, considering the fact that this year has been absolutely crazy. I mean, from day one, it's just been really mad. You know, I don't think any one of us will ever forget 2020 and what has happened due to the lockdown, the whole CV-19 problem that has basically changed the world. I think what's important to talk about today is not how the world has changed already, what is changing at the moment, but what we can change, how we can change it, and what we can do to stand on our truth, to do what we can to make this whole situation much better for us right now, for the people that we love, for all the people on the planet actually, but also for the future. Because this is not just about the now, the here and now. This is about what do we want to see in the future? So first of all, I want to talk about something that I haven't talked about before. I haven't spoken about this publicly, but I think it's time now to really put the spotlight on it because it's become a huge problem. And it's the same problem that so many channels, the alternative media channels, are experiencing. People who are in the field of truth research, alternative media, investigative reporters in this field, they are experiencing that right now, and that is censorship, major censorship on the alternative media platforms, and ghosting, shadow banning, and not coming up in the suggestions and the it's like suddenly you go from having so many viewers, thousands or hundreds of thousands of views, to suddenly not being able to climb, not being able to go there. In the beginning we thought, okay, why is this? But when suddenly a video hit over 100,000 views and more, and then you come back and you see it says 50,000 views. Suddenly the numbers have been changed. This is shadow banning. This is censorship. This is changing the numbers. This is trying to shut people up. And this is happening all over. Of course, we know what has happened to David Icke, of course, after his interview on the London talk, the London Real talk. His videos were taken down. That ended up with him getting deleted. His account was deleted on YouTube. Later on, his account on Facebook was deleted. In the past, let's say ordinary people who couldn't grasp all of these things were laughing at what they call conspiracy theories. Well, they were just laughing at David Icke or calling him names, all of this nasty behavior that we're seeing all the time. People acting really, really badly. Not very grown up. Not very politely. We've seen that for years. We know the deal. We know how it works. We know the name calling. We know the bad mouthing. We know how people talk behind somebody's back. We know how easy it is for people to sit at home, right on their keyboard, calling other people names behind some screen name that doesn't really actually make sense. Nobody knows who's actually saying all of this stuff. So we see that's happening, and it's, that it is what it is. But when those big time platform executives, people behind the scenes of those major platforms and channels, they are banning somebody like him, that must really mean that they're now taking him seriously. What does it mean? Does it mean that he's telling lies? If he didn't tell the truth, if he was not right about all of the things, or at least a lot of the things that he's been talking about for 30 years, then why don't you just laugh or switch the channel? Now people are waking up. Millions are watching. Things are happening. But from being up there, first in the suggestion field, suddenly you have to really search for people here. We are experiencing that as well. We are spending a lot of time. We have a small team, and all of the people, mostly you will probably know our producer Lauge, because you see his face also on the channel here. But we have a few other people here working with us to make sure that our production has great production value, and we try to, technically to be very good and to have television quality here. And it takes a lot of time to do all of this. We have no sponsors, we have no funding except for the goodwill of the people and subscribers and viewers who support us. That is our only source of income in terms of our platform here. And of course, without all of you guys, we wouldn't be able to do it. This is not something you do because you want to have a career out of it. This is something you do because you feel it's right. We want to get the truth out. We want to try and get as close to the truth as we can. We want to collect all of the different opinions, points of view, people's research, people that has really looked into all of these things, researching all of these topics, and talking to whistleblowers, talking to people that are in the know, who has worked in the field of politics, in secret societies, in the occult, in spirituality as well, and also in the field of UFO research and alien, and the existence of alien and extraterrestrial life on planet Earth and elsewhere in the universe. More people are waking up, more so than ever. We have it's a wave of this is a mass awakening, a wave of enlightenment. And some of the spiritual researchers and people in that field, they talk about, and astrologers, they talk about the age of Aquarius, as opposed to all of the many, many years we've been in the age of Pisces, the age of believing, of belief, believing in religion, and how they used religion for torture of the mind, enslavement of the human psyche and mind, which has nothing to do with the essence of the Holy Scriptures, what is inside of these holy books, and the message there, and how it's all written in code, how our human history can be decoded. We are facing massive challenges in this year 2020, and it's important that we work together now. I think that the truth movement is also being divided heavily. It's not the time to do that now. The time is to stand together. Some people may have more pieces to include in the puzzle than others. Then why don't you take those pieces? Why don't we all take those pieces and put them in our puzzle so that we can connect all of the dots, so that we can get as close to the full picture as we can. This is an ongoing thing. I don't think we will ever see the full puzzle well collected and connected and done. Interestingly enough, when you start becoming aware of the fact that the world is quite different from what you thought it was, when you understand that the world is not what you were taught, then you do a lot of research and you want to tell everybody. You want to tell your family, you want to tell your friends, you want to tell people on the street, you want to tell people at parties, and they can't understand that. They can't grasp that. They can't get that. They will laugh. They will ridicule you, perhaps. They will think you're crazy. They will think, why is that guy, even an educated guy or girl, somebody who has been living a whole different life with an education in something specific, then they suddenly become aware of what is happening. And people can't follow that road. This is at least what is happening to a lot of people who are waking up, so to speak. But as you continue to search for more truth and more greater understanding of the whole thing, very soon you realize then that those puzzle pieces that you thought were connected already, they don't fit any longer. And then you'll realize that the only thing you really know, truly know, is that you don't really know very much. And that this is an all-possibility reality. Because people are often saying that they have the truth. And they're arguing with other people, other researchers, saying that their truth is more correct and valid. Basically, when you search inside of yourself, in your heart, your intuition, you can choose what you want to believe. But during this time, this difficult time that we're all experiencing right now, it's so important not to succumb and be captured, be imprisoned by the greatest weapon of all that they have to control the masses, to control the populations of the world, is of course fear. Fear, the imprisonment of the mind control on a massive scale. When people fear anything, they can be controlled. And you cannot just say, okay, I'll remove all fears now. I will not fear anything any longer. That's not going to happen. That's not how we are. If you have empathy and if you have emotions, you feel fear. You can feel fear in the same way that you can feel love and compassion and empathy for other people, people in need, people who are suffering. And of course we know about those who do not feel this emotion and do not have the ability to have empathy for other people, suffering or anything else. But I think that it's actually empaths that have the ability to fear the most sometimes. And they want to do good. They want to believe in the good. And they fear, let's say, the virus right now. They fear death. They fear the death of a loved one, loved ones, family, friends, anybody else. And they fear what other people think. So even if they're waking up a little bit or they're saying, oh wow, this lockdown is not necessary, why are the governments changing the laws in our country? Why are they violating the constitutions of the different countries? Why are they allowed to change that overnight because of an emergency? Why more surveillance? Why more police and military control? Why mandatory and forced vaccinations and the fact that they want to take your freedom away, your ability to choose? If you want to choose to have a vaccine, you should be able to choose to say yes to the vaccine. But in the same way, if you choose to say no and say, this is not what I want to put into my body, I choose another way, herbal medicine or healthy living or something else, no matter what, the choice is yours. You are a free spirit, a free soul, a free mind. And it's your choice and your freedom to choose that is the most important, as well as the freedom of speech. The same way, the freedom to choose who you want to be friends with, the freedom to have the opinion that you want, the freedom to choose who you want to love. This should be free will for everybody, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. Your free will to choose what you want to believe in life, whether you want to believe in this religion, this spiritual faith, or you want to be an atheist and believe that in the material world only, if you want to believe in extraterrestrial life or not, whether you have seen it or not. I think everything changes once you've seen things. The choice should be yours, as long as you don't hurt anyone. You can't touch somebody that does not want to be touched. Let's say a beating or somebody hitting somebody else. You know, that is a violation of your own private sphere, hurting somebody. You have the right to express yourself in different ways. You have the right to wear the clothes that you want to wear or look in a certain way, even if people think you are different. This all boils down to the situation we are in right now with the CV-19 pandemic, global lockdown, government control, businesses being crushed, the economy being crushed. This is an economic crash. People are being run out of business. Small businesses totally destroyed, so many of them. Restaurants and you name it. It's really, really bad. And they don't seem to really care because there's an agenda behind it. And I think it is unfathomable that there are still people who cannot see that there is an agenda behind all of this. Because history is repeating. This is not the first time this has happened. It's just happening in a different way. And on a massive scale, bigger than anything that any of us living at this time, I think, at least, unless they're like really getting up there in age and can remember the Second World War. This may be the Third World War, performed, acted out, done in a different way, without the same weapons. The weapons we're seeing now is artificial intelligence, robots, the electrification of the body, electromagnetic frequencies beaming you from all sides. What is a good thing, what is a wonderful tool like the internet, can also be a curse in terms of all of the radiation and all of the surveillance. So everything is good and bad. yin, yang, black, white, day, night, all of it. Dualism, which is what we see everywhere, which is how this world is connected. How can you experience good if you don't have the bad, if you haven't experienced the bad? And do we want to live in a place where everything is good? I think that's what we want. But I don't know if it's something we can imagine, really, because what would that life be? We have to do what we can to build a better world. A world where we can all be more unified. Not as a one world, as a global one world entity where everybody is the same, controlled by a one world government. And the laws are the same, everything is the chain, and everything is connected and the same in that way. But connected and unified in a more harmonious and spiritual way, which has nothing to do with religion, but which has to do with heart and intuition, understanding that frequencies are something that we can be beamed with from different devices, but we are also antennas. We are also beaming frequencies from the heart, from the brain, from the mind, from our entire body, which is why I guess they call it a light body. We are vibrating on a certain frequency. Everything about us, in our DNA, in our cells, in our mitochondria, in everything within our body, is vibrating on a frequency. And we can change the frequency, we can do what we can to heighten our awareness, go up, ascend, not in that New Age kind of way, oh, let's ascend and all that, but it really is about taking your time to think about things a little more, to understand your actions, to understand what that person is doing, what he's doing, what she's doing, all of these things. Listen to them, listen to yourself. That's the best way of going to another level. Heighten your frequency in a way. Being a little bit more caring is good, but also standing in your truth. And be brave enough to speak your mind. It's not about being all sweetness and light all the time. You can really stand up and speak your truth, even loudly if you want to. We are trying to do our best to get as close to the truth as we can. We know that there are information that some people say that may not be correct. We know that there are many people who come on and they speak the truth, or some of the truth. It's your responsibility to listen to that voice within and to take whatever information you can from that. What I think is important is to give a platform to a lot of different opinions, a lot of different perspectives. We are not just the same. We don't want to promote one agenda or one way of thinking. We want to talk about all of it. We want to present different ways, different possibilities, because there is not just one way, except for the truth, whatever that is. We are getting closer to it, because whatever we want to say about this lockdown, whatever we want to say about this period of the pandemic, that has opened a lot of eyes, a lot of hearts. it certainly has made it clear to us that everything we've been researching and talking about, which was ridiculed, put down, massively attacked for years, laughed at, conspiracy theories, they said. We are all seeing it now in front of our eyes. We're seeing it in front of us. Suddenly it is outside of the windows when we open the curtains in the morning. Look out there. It's not just something we research and see from a distance. Maybe it's not that bad, and maybe in generations to come, suddenly overnight, this year, 2020, it happened. Whether it's the implementation of the New World Order, global government, totalitarian takeover and control of the human mind, the economy, world economy, making people dependent on the state, want to make people more sick, and they want to get them healthy. Whether it's this, or whether Trump is going to drain the swamp, and Q is a real thing and not a psyop. Whether it's this or that, we must go out there and be brave enough to stand in our truth and to be brave enough to speak it. Choose wisely who you want to talk about this to. You don't have to say it to everybody. We are all on different frequencies, and you cannot reach out to people about certain things if they're not on that wavelength, if they're not on that frequency. So it's okay to have different opinions. They all want to do good, and some people are captured by fear. Natural law is a very interesting thing to study. We had an interesting man on the show, a guest on our show just recently, and you can look forward to that interview. His name is Cal Washington, and he's talking. He's the author of the Notice of Liability and Suing the State, which is a very interesting thing, and how people can become sovereign beings within the state. And I think he has some very interesting information. Not everybody can go on that road, on that path, like what he has done, but there are certain things to study within all of that in terms of this notice of liability, in terms of your personal, individual rights. The right to say no, even if they want to force things on you that you don't want to take, and things that you don't want to do. So what we'll do, we'll continue to spread a lot of information, and we want to continue the fight for freedom, the path towards greater understanding, and of course truth. Well, in the age of deception, the age of corruption, the age of lies, the age of deceit, we also have the other side. When you stand at the crossroad, want to go in this direction, the age of all of that crap, the age of madness, all of what we're seeing. Or you can go on the age of truth, because all of the different platforms, not just ours, but so many others that are out there, they're doing great work, and we are proud of them, and they should be very proud of themselves for being brave enough in their way. Different ways of doing it. Somebody want to do it like this. Somebody want to do it like that. Different ways. We all interpret things different ways. There are so many different great people out there standing up for their truth and wanting to present it. I want to thank you all very much for listening and watching this today. I just wanted to say hi and do a little informal video. We have so many guests coming up on our show, and we hope that you will subscribe to our channel, Age of Truth TV, like our videos and hit the bell for notifications. You can go to our website if you want to support us, www.ageoftruthtv. You can subscribe to our newsletter there, and you can also make a donation. We want to thank all of you who has supported us, and we also want to thank all of you who are coming back to watch all of our videos. We hope that we won't see too much censorship, because what we're presenting is an opinion, different opinions, many different opinions, and we should be allowed to do so with success. We can't wait for you to see what we have in store for all of you, with new great guests and people who are on the show with fascinating and great, fantastic information, eye-opening as always. And thanks to all of you for being here and for watching. And also on behalf of the team, we love you. Thank you. See you soon.